There's a certain amount of alignment required in order for us to enjoy relationships. The key to that is understanding that without knowing ourselves, we cannot find people that align with us. If we don't know ourselves, frankly speaking, we'll never be surrounded by people that can actually bring that amazing part of us outside. My name is Tarav. I make videos about emotional intelligence regularly. And today I wanted to talk about how to find alignment in the people that we spend our time with. Open and honest communication took me many years to get to a point where I was like, I don't really give a shit what this other person thinks about me, because I know that what I need to say is relevant for me. It's something that I need for my self-love. This took a long time for me to understand, because first and foremost, I had to understand that silence was an answer just as much as yes or no, or some sort of interaction. There's a lot of people in society that I've met that genuinely try to provoke action from others. And we can take that power away from them by merely not acting. In fact, thinking about what we want to do instead of giving them the time and energy. It's kind of like a bully mentality. But these people also come in a lot of different types of archetypes. So they come in the jokester, they come in the aloof person, they come in the highly anxious, they come in the bully mindset archetype. But the key to understanding that we have a place and that we want to be treated a certain way is to allow ourselves to get outside of wanting to be liked all of the time. And one of the key lessons that I had to learn in order to really get to the point where I really didn't give a shit if people liked me was knowing that no answer is a response. And what that really took was me getting absolutely pissed off because I said the wrong things. Really, I said something when I shouldn't have said anything. That a lot of times these same personalities will get you to say stuff that will actually make it worse for you. That they will have fodder then to draw from against you. And it's a very valuable lesson in understanding communication in a very baseline level. Is in order to understand the power of communication, we need to understand how much lack of communication actually hurts relationships. How much not talking, not presenting an action, a stimulus, can fundamentally affect those that we are around. And this happened a lot of times with me, because I started to realize that, listen, if I subtract my voice, if I subtract my personality, my aura from a situation, even though I'm there, that makes other people wonder what it is that is going through my brain. It's a selfish thing to explore in life, but I think it's a necessary aspect of understanding how much we are willing to tolerate from other people and how much we are willing to stand for our ideals, how strong we are. Because that social thing, the likability aspect of things, right now, for most people that aren't thinking about communication and aren't thinking about alignment in any capacity, for most people, any sort of stimulus requires a response. It requires a tremendous amount, in my opinion, of meditation and observation to get to a point where every stimulus does not require a response. And that's kind of why this is the first step in understanding how to communicate and get to relationships that are actually aligned, is you cannot fundamentally exist as a conception in other people's minds. You have to first and foremost exist as your own conception. You have to exist outside, to a degree, of the realm of other people's beliefs. Because if we can't break through other people's beliefs, then we'll never prioritize our own to a point where alignment is even a possibility. Okay? So that's kind of where I'm coming from when I'm saying that I had to learn that saying nothing and that subtracting myself from a situation actually led to an effect. Intended or unintended, the observation, the experimentation was necessary. So I would recommend it, especially when you're around people that piss you off a lot, or if you're trying to have a more unique, novel conversation. Try staying silent at weird parts of the conversation and try figuring out what that does to the other person. Try figuring out what that person believes about you when they provide you with a stimulus and you don't react to it. You don't give them the intended reciprocal action. There's tremendous power in that. Really, try it out. The other thing is, when it comes down to figuring out whether or not we're aligned properly with people, communicating where we want to go and whether or not we believe that they are fully aware of where they want to go. Breaking it down more simply, I've had a lot of conversations in my life where someone, out of trying to please me or someone else in their life, has essentially concocted a story in their head that isn't entirely something that they can get behind. It's a facade. And to a degree, I think all of us do that. And I think it's actually very useful when trying to change as a human being. However, if we are not 100% committed to the why, the reason is because we haven't thought enough about it and we haven't done the work to logic out whether it's useful to who we are. So for instance, if my mission of trying to change the world to make a more emotionally intelligent human species, to cope with our technological prowess, if that's my mission and my why isn't strong enough, why would you want to do that? Well, the why is simple. It gives my life meaning and purpose. And I believe in the core of me that it is my responsibility through the things that I have been given and shown in this life to go and pursue that goal. To some degree, it is the very reason I exist. And I have to believe that why, genuinely, consistently. Although sometimes it falls on its face and it's hard to remember, but if I don't have that, then all of the obstacles, all of the pursuits that take so much time and patience and skillful execution and iterative growth, those things fall to the wayside. They become a lot easier to just drop and be like, nah, this was a phase. And I think a lot of people have not thought about the why enough to be like, yeah, man, this is just who I am. And not been comfortable enough, have not experimented enough to admit that to other people and realize the dividends of actually being not only mindful about themselves, but also being transparent about what their expectations are. So the reason that alignment in general is important for everything that we make as a human